What do crocodile dung, frankincense, and lead-based eyeliner have in common? If your first thought was ancient Egyptian spa day, congrats, my love, you're absolutely right. Because when it came to defying age, ancient Egyptians weren't playing. We're traveling thousands of years back in time to uncover how the elite, yes, even Cleopatra, but also queens who came long before her, fought off wrinkles, sagging skin, and decay, with a mix of honey, magic, and a pinch of poison. My, it's been a while. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Beauty Unlocked. Did you miss me? I'm Carissa, and today we're cracking open the sarcophagus on one of the world's oldest obsessions, staying young forever. In ancient Egypt, beauty wasn't just vanity, it was virtue, power, and divine favor. Smooth skin and youth weren't just attractive, they were sacred. The gods themselves were painted with the perfection of youth. Historian Joyce Tyldesley, sorry Joyce if I didn't say that right, puts it best in her book Cleopatra, Last Queen of Egypt. Physical beauty was associated with moral goodness, and bodily decay was seen as a sign of divine disfavor. So yeah, aging. Not exactly a good look if you were trying to be immortal in this life and the next. Let's peek inside their beauty cabinets. Egyptian papyri, like the Ebers papyrus, dated around 1550 BCE, are full of anti-aging recipes. One reads, to remove wrinkles from the face, gum of frankincense, wax, moringa oil, mix and apply. Moringa oil was their version of Lux Face Serum, packed with antioxidants and vitamin C. It helped combat sun damage, inflammation, and dryness. They exfoliated too, using natron salts, alabaster dust, and even ground limestone, natural exfoliants that removed dead skin and revealed a smoother surface. Think of it as desert microdermabrasion. This wasn't just skincare, it was sacred. Preserving the body and life prepared the soul for its journey in death. Now, let's talk royalty. Everyone's obsessed with Cleopatra, and we'll get to her in a sec. But Egypt had powerful, radiant queens long before she rolled herself up in a carpet. Let's start with Hatshepsut, the queen who declared herself pharaoh in the 15th century BCE. She wore the ceremonial beard of kings, but don't think she wasn't into fragrance. Hatshepsut famously funded an expedition to the land of Punt to import incense and myrrh, which were used in temples, embalming, and you guessed it, beauty products. Archaeologist Catharine Roehrig of the Met Museum explains, Hatshepsut's temple reliefs emphasize the importance of perfume in religious and personal life. Kaifi, her signature scent, was a blend of frankincense, honey, myrrh, and resins believed to heal the body and elevate the soul. Then there's Nefertiti, literally named the Beautiful One Has Come. She and her husband Akhenaten were major beauty and art influencers of their day. Nefertiti was known for her glowing complexion and heavy kohl-lined eyes. She likely used henna to dye her nails and hair, and castor oil to soften her skin and reduce wrinkles. As Egyptologist Elizabeth Barber notes, beauty in the Amarna period wasn't just aesthetic, it reflected spiritual harmony and divine connection. So when we say these queens were beauty icons, we're not exaggerating. They had entire rituals for youth, grace, and divine radiance. Okay, now to Cleopatra, because she was the moment. While her allure was political and intellectual, she absolutely had a beauty game. Pliny the Elder claimed she bathed in sour donkey milk, which contains lactic acid, an exfoliant that softens skin and reduces fine lines. That's right, ancient AHA. Her face masks reportedly included honey, sea salt, aloe vera, and rose water. And her perfumes, custom blended oils, sometimes laced with myrrh, cinnamon, and lotus. According to Sacred Luxuries by Lisa Manish, Cleopatra had access to the finest imported ingredients. Her beauty regimen was a mix of medical knowledge, ritual, and theatrical flair. All right, my loves, we've talked about glowing skin, divine oils, and magical balms, but it's time to slip into something a little darker, because what's beauty unlocked without it getting a little bit dark? The truth is, ancient Egyptian beauty wasn't all honey and lotus flowers. Some of it could kill you, slowly, seductively, and with a perfect cat eye. Let's start with the holy grail of Egyptian glam, coal eyeliner. Made from crushed galena, a shiny black mineral that's basically lead sulfide, this was applied daily by queens, priests, and even children. Why? Not just for the look, but for spiritual protection. It was thought to shield the eyes from evil spirits, prevent infections, and cut the sun's glare. And shockingly, they weren't totally wrong. In 2010, chemist Dr. Philippe Walter and a team at the Louvre analyzed coal samples and found that the trace lead salts in them could actually stimulate nitric oxide production in the skin, boosting the immune response and helping stave off infections like conjunctivitis, which is not fun. So yes, your smoky eye might have been medicinal. But there's a catch. Lead is cumulative, meaning daily use, especially starting from childhood, leads to a slow and steady toxic buildup in the body. And the consequences? Brutal. We're talking cognitive and developmental delays, chronic fatigue, mood swings and depression, kidney and liver damage, infertility, and in extreme cases, seizures, organ failure, and death. Malachite, a vivid green copper ore, was another favorite, used as a shimmering eyeshadow to channel rebirth and the Eye of Horus. But Dr. Barbara Watterson, author of Women in Ancient Egypt, warns copper compounds like malachite are toxic in powder form and can cause serious irritation or poisoning if ingested or absorbed through the skin in high quantities. And that, my friends, was just eye makeup. When we look at skin treatments, things get even more intense. The Ebers Papyrus, a 110-page medical scroll dating back to around 1550 BCE, includes recipes like, for blemishes, grind red natron, mix with arsenic, apply to the face. To brighten dull skin, white lead, honey, and crushed ostrich eggshell, blend and spread thinly. And to smooth wrinkles, a blend of frankincense, acacia pods, moringa oil, and natron. Yes, arsenic and white lead were slathered on the skin in the name of youth, and these aren't just bad ingredients, they're carcinogens. Dr. Rosalie David, Egyptologist and paleopathologist, put it plainly. The Egyptians had access to vast pharmacological knowledge, but many of these cosmetic compounds contained substances that we now classify as carcinogens. And it wasn't just the Egyptians who noticed the danger. Pliny the Elder, our favorite Roman gossip columnist in a toga, had plenty to say. In his Natural History, Book 28, he sneers, "Women will go to great lengths for beauty, even to smear their faces with excrement or paint their eyes with what might kill them." He's talking about concoctions that used crocodile dung, antimony, ashes, and you guessed it, lead. In Book 33, he writes that powdered lead could corrupt the flesh and slowly poison the blood. He might have been judgy, but he wasn't wrong. Even perfumes and body oils weren't innocent. Some elite formulas included mercury, treasured for its silvery sheen and supposed purifying qualities. But mercury is another neurotoxin. Chronic exposure can cause tremors, vision and speech impairment, mood disorders, and long-term neurological breakdown. Egyptologist Dr. Joanne Fletcher sums it up perfectly. The ancient Egyptians lived in a world where beauty, medicine, and death shared a palate. The very things that made them beautiful could slowly unmake them. And yet these treatments were coveted. Recipes from surviving medical and cosmetic papyri describe concoctions like an ointment to restore youth made from frankincense, crushed acacia pods, myrrh, and honey. To prevent wrinkles on the face, blend gum of frankincense, fresh moringa oil, and a dash of natron. Apply daily. A paste of red ochre, animal fat, and calamus root said to bring vitality to the skin of old women. But this isn't just theory. We also have evidence. In 2019, a forensic team from the University of Manchester conducted chemical analysis on mummies from the New Kingdom period. Their findings? Elevated levels of lead, mercury, and arsenic. Well, I mean, it's the holy grail of skincare, especially in the remains of elite women and priests. Dr. Roger Seeler, the lead toxicologist, explained, The concentration of heavy metals in these mummies suggests prolonged exposure, likely from medicinal or cosmetic use. It's a kind of slow, cumulative poisoning that would have caused neurological symptoms, joint pain, and in some cases, premature death. One mummy, believed to be a priestess or high status noblewoman, had such high levels of mercury that researchers concluded it may have directly contributed to organ failure. So, yeah, beauty really was pain, possibly fatal pain. But I guess in their minds they were thinking I look fucking fabulous. Now let's talk about the blurred line between beauty, magic, and medicine in ancient Egypt. And babe, it wasn't just a vibe, it was a whole belief system. To the ancient Egyptians, caring for the body was never a shallow act. Every application of ointment, every cosmetic ritual was infused with Heka, the vital force of magic. Looking good wasn't about vanity, it was about maintaining cosmic balance. Egyptologist Geraldine Pinch writes in Magic in Ancient Egypt, magic was not a separate sphere of life. It permeated medicine, religion, and personal grooming. Cosmetics were amulets in a jar, protective, healing, and symbolic. For example, kohl eyeliner, applied in that iconic almond shape, wasn't just for slaying a look. It was believed to protect the wearer from the evil eye and ward off disease. Modern chemical analysis has shown that the lead-based compounds in kohl actually stimulated the production of nitric oxide in the skin, giving it a mild antibacterial property. That's right, science is finally catching up to what Egyptian priests and beauticians were doing 3,000 years ago. And remember myrrh and frankincense? These luxury ingredients weren't just perfumed indulgences. According to bioarchaeologist Dr. Sonia Zarkazweski, many Egyptian oils and balms had genuine anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties. Their beauty rituals often doubled as preventative medicine. Then there's the ritual of anointing. High-status individuals were regularly oiled with scented balms, especially during religious festivals or important life transitions. These oils often contain ingredients like cedar oil, lotus, olive oil, and juniper, which preserved and hydrated the skin. But they were also spiritually purifying. Priests anointed statues, kings, and even mummies. According to Dr. Rita Lucarelli, an Egyptologist at UC Berkeley, the act of anointing linked the physical and the divine. It was a consecration, a way of aligning your body with the gods. Even makeup palettes were ritually charged. Many have been found in tombs shaped like lotus flowers or fish, symbols of rebirth and regeneration. The idea? You take your beauty tools with you to the afterlife so you stay radiant for eternity. And let's not forget the dead. Cosmetics were applied to mummies, not just to make them look presentable, but to restore vitality for their next phase of existence. We're talking full glam in the tomb. In the words of Dr. Zahi Hawass, to the ancient Egyptians, the body had to be perfected, preserved, and beautified, not just for the living world, but forever. So here's what we've uncovered. In ancient Egypt, beauty wasn't just skin deep. It was sacred, scientific, and sometimes sinister. Whether crafted in temple workshops or household kitchens, their anti-aging rituals blended the divine with the dangerous. From scrubs of powdered alabaster to serums laced with lead, each concoction whispered a promise of youth and a risk of ruin. And today, some of those ancient secrets still echo in our routines, hidden behind glossy packaging, centuries later. And that's a wrap on ancient Egyptian anti-aging, where beauty wasn't just surface deep, but a sacred act tied to health, power, and even the divine. From rejuvenating rituals to potions with a deadly twist, their legacy reminds us the line between healing and harm has always been razor thin. If you've enjoyed the episode, don't forget to follow Beauty Unlocked, leave a review, and share this episode with your most fabulous, history-loving friends. Remember, my loves, to stay hydrated, stay curious, and stay safe. You'll hear from me next week with a brand new Beauty Unlocked episode. Bye!